When we think of Nazi Germany during World War II, images of roaring tanks, massive aerial bombardments, and vast battlefields often come to mind. But behind the front lines, a different, less visible war was being waged. A war of innovation, born of desperation and fueled by a chilling ambition. It unfolded in secret bunkers, remote testing grounds, and heavily guarded laboratories. Today, we delve into 20 Nazi technologies that were, for their time, incredibly advanced, yet ultimately served a dark purpose, leaving a complex legacy that continues to echo through history. Number 20. Imagine the battlefield shrouded in darkness, where every shadow hides a threat. Now, picture a soldier, burdened by a heavy backpack, peering through a device that pierces the veil of night. This was the Zielgerät 1229, nicknamed Vampire, the world's first portable infrared night vision system designed for infantry. Developed in the war's desperate final years, it promised an almost supernatural advantage, allowing soldiers to see their enemies in the black of night. It transformed the individual soldier into an early prototype of the modern night fighter, equipped with technology far ahead of its time. Yet its immense weight, limited range, and late deployment meant it had little strategic impact. A chilling glimpse into a future where darkness offered no sanctuary. Its discovery after the war ignited a frantic race for similar technology in the US and Soviet Union, forever changing the face of nocturnal warfare. Number 19. Beneath the surface of the conventional war, another, even more terrifying race was underway: the quest for atomic power. The Uranverein, or Uranium Club, was Nazi Germany's clandestine attempt to harness the atom, to forge a weapon of unimaginable destructive force. Initiated in 1939, it began with the chilling promise of nuclear fission. But unlike the focused, well-funded Manhattan Project, Germany's atomic program was plagued by internal rivalries, a lack of central direction, and a critical shortage of resources. The most tangible relic of this failed ambition was the Haigerloch reactor, built in secret beneath a church. A desperate last-ditch effort to achieve a controlled chain reaction, it ultimately failed. A testament to their disorganization and the sheer scale of the scientific challenge. When Allied troops discovered the site in 1945, they found a program far from its terrifying goal. A stark reminder that even the most brilliant minds, when fractured and starved of resources, cannot bend reality to their will. Number 18. As the war turned, desperation bred increasingly bizarre and experimental ideas. One such project was the Windkanone, or air cannon. Conceived by Luftwaffe engineers, this colossal weapon aimed to incapacitate targets with nothing but a powerful, high-velocity blast of air. No bullets, no explosions, just a silent, invisible force meant to knock soldiers off their feet and disrupt formations. Imagine the sheer audacity, the almost fantastical vision of such a weapon. Mounted on a railway platform, its 7-meter barrel could generate wind speeds of over 350 meters per second. Yet, reality quickly set in. Tests revealed its fatal flaws: limited range, violent recoil, and an unwieldy size. It was a desperate, almost absurd attempt to defy the laws of conventional warfare, a symbol of a regime grasping at straws. After its capture, the prototype was swiftly decommissioned, a silent acknowledgement of its impracticality and the chilling potential of such a concept in the wrong hands. Number 17. In the twilight of the war, with resources dwindling, engineers were forced to innovate with whatever they had. The AS-6, designed by Austrian engineer Alois Sack, was an experimental fighter aircraft with a circular, annular wing, a flying pancake. This unusual design promised enhanced lift and maneuverability, a desperate bid to outwit the overwhelming Allied air superiority. Largely constructed from wood due to metal shortages, it was a testament to ingenuity under duress. But as test flights began, the Luftwaffe was already crippled by fuel shortages and a lack of experienced pilots. The AS-6, despite its fascinating design, was too impractical for widespread use. It was a bold, almost beautiful vision of aviation's future, born in a time of despair, ultimately grounded by the harsh realities of a losing war. Yet, its radical form would inspire future concepts of flying discs and vertical takeoff prototypes. Number 16. With Allied bombers relentlessly pounding German cities, the need for compact personal defense systems became paramount. The Fliegerfaust was a remarkable answer, a man-portable rocket launcher designed to allow individual soldiers to engage low-flying aircraft. The idea was revolutionary, infantrymen providing their own anti-aircraft defense. Developed in 1944, this weapon featured 9 barrels, each firing a 20mm rocket. When rapidly fired, the rockets created a spread designed to hit reconnaissance planes and light bombers. Only a handful were ever built, and its impact was limited. But the Fliegerfaust was visionary, foreshadowing a future where a single soldier could pose a threat to aircraft. It stands today as a direct ancestor of modern man-portable air defense systems like the Stinger missile, influencing military technology worldwide. Number 15. The Mistel program, named after the parasitic mistletoe plant, was a chillingly ingenious Luftwaffe project involving composite aircraft, essentially flying bombs. It embodied a desperate strategy to strike heavily fortified targets. The concept was simple yet audacious. A piloted fighter aircraft mounted atop an unmanned, modified bomber packed with explosives. The pilot would guide the combined aircraft to its target, then detach, leaving the lower bomber to fly on a preset course to its destructive end. The most common variant saw a Focke-Wulf FW-190 fighter perched on a Junkers Ju-88 bomber, its nose replaced by a massive shaped charge. Around 250 Mistel combinations were built, a testament to the regime's willingness to sacrifice machines and men for a slim chance of strategic impact. While some caused damage, they were too few, too late to alter the war's tide. A stark example of how far desperation could push military innovation, even into the realm of the suicidal. Number 14. Decades ahead of its time, the Wasserfall remote-controlled anti-aircraft missile was a groundbreaking technological leap. Launched in 1942, this project aimed to develop a vertically launched interceptor missile. Inspired by the V-2 rocket, it stood over 7 meters tall, weighed 3,600 kilograms, and was powered by a liquid fuel rocket engine, reaching speeds of up to 2,700 kilometers per hour. Its theoretical range of 50 kilometers and altitude of 18 kilometers meant it could target high-flying heavy bombers. Unlike the ballistic V-2, the Wasserfall was guided by radar and manual remote control, a primitive precursor to modern precision guidance systems. Its proximity fuse warhead could damage targets without a direct hit. Despite successful test flights, it never entered mass production. After the war, both the US and Soviet Union meticulously analyzed its design, and its propulsion and guidance concepts influenced later systems like the Nike Ajax and SA-2. A testament to German rocketry's advanced state, even if its ultimate purpose was never realized. Number 13. High atop a cliff between Omaha and Gold Beach in Normandy stood one of the most formidable and well-preserved fortifications of the Atlantic Wall. The Long-sur-Mer Battery. Completed in early 1944 and manned by the German Navy, its purpose was chillingly clear: to repel the approaching Allied fleet before it could even reach the shore. The battery boasted 4 152mm naval guns, encased in massive concrete bunkers, capable of firing shells up to 20 kilometers. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, the battery opened fire, unleashing its fury on ships off Omaha and Gold Beach. The Allies responded swiftly with targeted air and naval bombardments. Despite its robust construction, the battery was silenced by afternoon, its command center destroyed, and over 180 German soldiers captured. This multi-million Reichsmark investment in coastal defense ended in a single day. Today, the site remains largely intact, a silent, haunting witness to a pivotal moment in World War II history and the futility of even the strongest defenses against overwhelming force. Number 12. The Flammenwerfer 35. Developed in 1935, was Nazi Germany's first portable flamethrower, quickly becoming one of the Wehrmacht's most terrifying and iconic weapons. While based on earlier World War I designs, this model offered greater mobility and practical utility. It functioned by ejecting a mixture of gasoline and tar through a nozzle, ignited by a pilot flame. The fuel was carried in 2 tanks on the operator's back, weighing about 36 kilograms. Its effective range of around 25 meters made it particularly useful for clearing fortified positions like bunkers or buildings. First deployed in Poland in 1939 and France in 1940, it became a standard tool for specialized units. In urban combat, it proved devastatingly effective against entrenched enemy positions, spreading not just fire, but sheer terror. After the war, such weapons faced increasing criticism due to their destructive and indiscriminate nature. Though never officially banned, flamethrowers gradually faded from modern armies, a grim reminder of the brutal realities of close-quarters combat. Number 11. For years, rumors have swirled about mysterious Nazi experiments in technology and biology. Flying sharks and killer robots, like those depicted in the film Sky Sharks, are pure fiction. Yet there's a chilling hint that real concepts might have inspired such tales. While no confirmed evidence of Nazi robots exists, the idea isn't entirely absurd. Theoretically, the building blocks for robotics were already present: electric motors, remote control systems, and experimental sensor technologies like infrared, radar, and sonar. Combine that with a team of brilliant engineers operating without ethical boundaries, and you have the ingredients for something far ahead of its time. Perhaps it was a clumsy metallic monster with droning motors and primitive sensors. Perhaps it could crawl, aim, or even independently identify targets. No feelings, no conscience, just program code. Did it actually work? Probably not. But that's what makes it all the more mysterious. And who knows, perhaps somewhere in a forgotten bunker, a rusted prototype still waits to be discovered, a silent echo of a dark, unfulfilled dream. Number 10. The Junkers Ju-390 was one of Nazi Germany's most ambitious aviation projects, a colossal aircraft designed to reach targets on the American East Coast, across the Atlantic. In the early 1940s, the Junkers aircraft manufacturer developed this 6-engine giant as an extended version of the Ju-290. Originally intended for maritime reconnaissance and transport, the Ju-390 gained legendary status due to its connection with the mysterious America Bomber program. With a wingspan of almost 50 meters and a theoretical range of over 9,700 kilometers, it could potentially have reached New York. 2 prototypes were built, and at least one flew successfully in 1943, tested for long-range missions, aerial reconnaissance, and cargo transport. What lent the machine its legendary status were post-war rumors that it had flown near New York and returned safely, claims for which no evidence exists. The project was ultimately canceled in 1944 due to changing priorities, material shortages, and a focus on defensive technology. Both prototypes were dismantled, and all further plans abandoned, leaving behind only the chilling possibility of intercontinental terror. Number 9. The Haft-Holedung, or magnetic hollow charge, was a German invention that allowed soldiers to attach explosive charges directly to enemy vehicles to breach their armor. Introduced in 1942, the device weighed about 3 kilograms and was equipped with 3 powerful magnets that secured it to the metallic surfaces of tanks or armored vehicles. After attaching it, the user pulled a fuse, triggering a 5 to 10 second delay, just enough time to seek cover. The shaped charge concentrated the explosive force into a narrow jet, capable of penetrating up to 140 millimeters of armor, enough to disable almost any vehicle of that era. While technically impressive, its use was extremely dangerous, requiring direct contact with the target. After the war, this weapon system faded into obscurity due to its inherent risks and the development of other tactics. The Haft-Holedung remains a drastic example of how far engineers would go in times of extreme necessity to find effective, albeit perilous, solutions. Number 8. Long before Japan's Shinkansen, or Germany's Transrapid, German engineer Hermann Kemper proposed a train that would levitate above its tracks using magnetic force. In the 1930s, his concept sparked great interest amidst the Third Reich's technological ambitions. not as a military project, but as a symbol of progress and future visions. In 1934, Kemper patented a system that utilized electromagnetic repulsion. Through alternating current in coils along the track, the train was meant to float and move without physical contact. The Ministry of Aviation then funded a functioning prototype, tested in the late 1930s in Germany. While it didn't achieve the speeds or efficiency of modern maglev trains, it proved that magnetic levitation was technically possible decades ahead of its time. The focus eventually shifted to other technologies, and Kemper's project was shelved. Nevertheless, his invention remained a source of inspiration, and many decades later, countries like Japan and Germany would embrace and perfect the concept, building on the foundation of his visionary work. Number 7. The Horten H-18 was a bold yet never completed project from the final years of the war. Developed by the innovative Horten brothers, it was a jet-powered aircraft with an advanced flying wing design, far ahead of its time. A flying wing has no conventional fuselage or tail. Everything is integrated into a large aerodynamic surface. This design reduces drag, increases efficiency, and makes detection by conventional radar systems more difficult. The Horten brothers had already built successful test aircraft like the Ho-229, an early precursor to modern stealth technology. The H-18 was planned with 6 jet engines embedded in its wings, aiming for speeds over 1,000 kilometers per hour and a range of more than 7,000 kilometers. It was intended as a long-range bomber, part of the America Bomber program. After the war, its blueprints and remaining components fell into Allied hands. The aircraft's innovative shape and stealth potential inspired later projects in the United States and the Soviet Union, most famously the American B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, a testament to visionary design born from a desperate yet technologically ambitious era. Number 6. The Chronic was an early and innovative system that used sound to trigger automatic mechanisms. Instead of contact or time fuses, this device reacted to specific frequencies, such as the hum of aircraft engines or the rhythmic sound of ship propellers. An integrated microphone acted as a sensor, connected to a mechanical or electronic trigger. When a known sound pattern was detected, such as an approaching aircraft or ship, a signal was sent, triggering a reaction. This allowed for precise activation without physical contact. The technology was primarily used in systems designed to detect and disrupt enemy vehicles for more efficient and targeted operations. Although mainly experimental, the Chronic laid important foundations for future sound-controlled and acoustic detection technologies. Even today, this principle is used in civilian areas such as sonar and underwater research, a quiet legacy of a wartime innovation. Number 5. The Lippisch P-13A was a visionary yet never-built experimental interceptor aircraft. Developed by German aeronautical engineer Alexander Lippisch, the father of the delta wing concept, the design combined lightness, speed, and an alternative propulsion system. In 1944, Lippisch envisioned an aircraft powered by pulverized coal, a desperate solution to the dwindling supply of liquid fuels. The aircraft featured a wide, triangular delta wing with sharp angles and a swept-back profile for improved aerodynamics, stability, and high-speed performance. The cockpit was at the front, followed by the wing and the combustion chamber, where the pulverized coal was injected and ignited. The idea was bold, a solid fuel propulsion system at a time when liquid fuels were scarce. While significant technical challenges remained, and the technology was limited, the design was tested through models and wind tunnel experiments. The project was ultimately canceled, but the P-13A remains one of the most remarkable designs of its time, a testament to ingenuity in an era of extreme scarcity. Number 4. The Panzerfaust was a revolutionary disposable anti-tank weapon that empowered ordinary soldiers to defend themselves against enemy armored vehicles. Introduced in 1943, it offered a simple and cost-effective solution against threats like the Soviet T-34 or American Sherman tanks. The weapon consisted of a metal tube about 1 meter long with a specially shaped warhead that concentrated the explosive force onto a single point. Since the launcher was discarded after use, the Panzerfaust was ideal for rapid mass production and easy transport. It was aimed using simple sights, and the projectile was fired without recoil. The Panzerfaust was widely used in the later years of the war by regular troops, paratroopers, and Volkssturm units. After the war, it served as a model for modern weapons like the Soviet RPG-2 and RPG-7, which have been used worldwide for decades. A simple, yet profoundly impactful weapon, born of necessity, that democratized anti-tank warfare. Number 3. The Schienenzeppelin was a striking experimental rail vehicle developed in the early 1930s by engineer Franz Krukenberg. Unlike conventional trains, this futuristic prototype utilized a massive aircraft engine with a propeller mounted at the rear. The frame was largely made of lightweight aluminum and was aerodynamically shaped, giving it the appearance of a streamlined airship on rails. On June 21, 1931, the Schienenzeppelin achieved a speed of 230 kilometers per hour on the track between Hamburg and Berlin, a rail speed record that stood for decades. Although groundbreaking in design, it was never widely adopted. Safety concerns, noise problems, and a lack of everyday practicality led to the choice of electric and diesel-powered trains. Nevertheless, the project remains a visionary milestone in railway history, inspiring technology enthusiasts and engineers worldwide to this day. A symbol of audacious pre-war German engineering, hinting at a future that would be tragically derailed. Number 2. The SS Wurfkörper 3661 was a rocket weapon system from the late phase of the war, improvised by units of the Waffen SS. It involved converted Soviet BM-13 Katyusha rocket launchers, fitted with German warheads and propulsion systems. The goal was to create functional rocket artillery with minimal material expenditure. The rockets were fired from simple rails or trucks and had a range of about 6 kilometers. Although their precision and performance were limited, the project shows how the SS attempted to develop its own weapons independently of the regular Wehrmacht. Historians assume that the system was only tested on a small scale, as there are no detailed reports of its deployment or series production. Some sources suggest it was more of a political prestige project than a militarily sensible development. After the war, the SS Wurfkörper 3661 largely vanished from collective memory, a footnote in the desperate, fragmented efforts of a crumbling regime. Number 1. The America Bomber project was Nazi Germany's ultimate, most ambitious, and ultimately unfulfilled plan to develop a long-range bomber capable of reaching targets in the United States. The idea emerged in 1942, born from a desire to challenge Allied technological superiority and symbolically strike cities like New York. The Luftwaffe invited major aircraft manufacturers, including Messerschmitt, Junkers, Focke-Wulf, and Orton, to submit designs for a bomber with a range of 12,000 kilometers. Notable proposals included the Messerschmitt Me-264, the Junkers Ju-390, which we discussed earlier, the futuristic Horten H-8T flying wing, and the Focke-Wulf TA-400. Each represented a different vision of intercontinental terror, a desperate dream of projecting power across an ocean. But the project was ultimately abandoned due to insurmountable technical difficulties, shifting war objectives, and Germany's rapidly deteriorating situation. Though no America bomber ever flew a combat mission, several of these designs influenced breakthroughs in aviation technology after the war, as Allied powers eagerly studied the captured blueprints. The America bomber remains a chilling testament to the regime's boundless ambition and the ultimate failure of even the most advanced technology to alter the course of history when pitted against overwhelming odds and a collapsing ideology. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden technological war of Nazi Germany, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, click on one on the screen or check out our channel directly. Thanks for watching, and until next time.